Hi guys, this is Ms. Trejo, and in this video I'm going to go over what we talked about today in the Zoom meetings um, over order of operations or Big Purple Monster drinking a soda. And for my students doing the learning packet, I'm sorry that we were having so many technical difficulties, but I hope this video helps you understand a little bit better since I know we were getting cut off a lot. So in this week, you guys are talking about order of operations and solving expressions. And like I mentioned to you guys, you also have your math notebook. You should have it at home. And I know that we have a lot of notes in our notebooks about this. So before we start with examples, I want to go over the basics. So yes, the way that we remember the steps is by saying Big Purple Monster drinking a soda. But these letters, or the first letters of each of these words, represent the actual operation we're going to be doing. So the B in big represents our brackets. The P in purple represents parentheses. The M in monster represents multiplication. The D in drinking represents division. And the A, or A, in A represents addition, and the S for soda represents subtraction. So these are the steps or the order of the operations, but like I mentioned, if you have brackets, you always have to start with them. It doesn't matter if it's at the beginning, the middle, or the end of the expression. You must do brackets first. The same goes for parentheses. It doesn't matter if it's in the beginning, the middle, or the end of the expression. You must do the parentheses first. Now, after that, you have multiplication and division, as well as addition and subtraction. So for these guys, you must work from left to right. So from left to right. For example, if you have both multiplication and division in your expression, you have to do the one that's on the left side. Even though multiplication comes first here, it doesn't matter. What matters is which one of those is in the left side first, okay? That's what you do first. The same goes for addition and subtraction. If you have both addition and subtraction in an expression, then you must do whichever one is on the left side first. And the one on the right side will go last, okay? And I'm going to show you what that looks like in an example in a little bit. So now here we have this expression, bracket 2 and 5/10 times parentheses 3 plus 9, close parentheses, close bracket, divided by 5 minus 3. So in order to see what I'm going to do first, I have to write my BPMDAS. So now, do I have brackets? Well, I do. So that is the first thing I'm going to do in this expression. So now, in this expression or inside the brackets, I'm going to work with my parentheses first. Now, the number that my parentheses represents is 3 plus 9, which I know is 12. So I'm replacing my parentheses with the number that represents it, which is 12. And I'm bringing everything else down. Whatever I didn't work on, I'm bringing it back down. So now, guys, I'm still not done with my brackets. I still have 2.5 times 12. So if I was to multiply 2 and 5/10 times 12, that would give me 30. So the number that my bracket represented was 30. So now I am left with 30 divided by 5 minus 3. Now, I don't have any more parentheses. Well, I don't have parentheses. The parentheses were inside the bracket. That's why I did it first. I don't have multiplication. The multiplication was inside the bracket. That's why I did it after the parentheses. I do have division though. So I'm gonna highlight or check my division, and I'm gonna underline or highlight in my expression 30 divided by 5, because that is what I'm gonna be dividing. So I already know that 30 divided by 5 is 6, because 6 times 5 gives me 30. And I'm gonna bring down whatever is left. So now my last step is easy peasy lemon squeezy to subtract. 6 minus 3 gives me 3. So the answer to this expression is 3, guys. Now, this other example that I have here, I have 25 minus parentheses 2 times 3 parentheses times 3 plus 22. So now, again, I'm going to write my BPMDAS. I do not have brackets, but I do have parentheses. So that is the first thing I am doing in this expression. So I'm going to come here, oops, not highlight everything. I'm only going to highlight or underline my parentheses. So I want to know what number does my parentheses represent. So 2 times 3 gives me 6. So I'm replacing my parentheses with 6. Now, do I have multiplication? Well, yes, I do. So I'm going to highlight that, underline it, and I'm going to come back to my expression, and I'm going to underline it, highlight it, whatever you want to do, guys. So now, I need to find what is 6 times 3. Well, 6 times 3, guys, is 18. So now, I replaced this with 18, and I brought back down whatever was left. And I've been bringing back down whatever is left each time. So now, I am in a dilemma. I have a dilemma. My next step, well, I don't have division, so I will go to addition. Now, I do have addition, but it's on the right side. I do have, whoops, forgot to delete that. I do have subtraction, and it's on the left side. So I need to remember that I need to work from left to right. So I am not going to add, I have to subtract, because, whoops, 25 minus 18 is on the left side. I have to do my subtraction first. So I'm going to highlight that and write a little note to myself that I'm doing this first because it was on the left side. So now what I do is 25 minus 18 is 7. So I have 7, and I bring down what is left, and that leaves me with 7 plus 22, which now I can add as my last step. And my answer, guys, will be 29, because 7 plus 22 is 29. So now I'm going to show you really quick what would have happened if I would have added first instead of subtracting. So now I'm going to put this differently. Okay, so this is the wrong section, okay? I'm gonna do it, let me see, red. So you guys know that this is wrong. Okay, so now let's pretend that I did not subtract. Instead, what I did first was add. I added first. So I'm going to remove that. So I'm gonna think, oh no, addition comes next in the BPMDAS, so I must add first. So 18 plus 22 gives me 40. So I am left with 25, minus 40. Okay, I know I can't do this because it's gonna give me a negative number, and you do not work with negative numbers, guys, until you're like in middle school or 6th grade. So that automatically tells me that something went wrong. And yes, something did go wrong. You were supposed to subtract because subtraction was on the left side. Now, so don't forget, guys, it's very important to remember and follow this, to work from left to right. I'm going to delete that. Now, another type of example that you're going to have in your packet or in STEM scopes is problems like this, where you need to read the problem and try to find an expression that matches that problem. So here we have Mario had 20 packs of juicy fruit chewing gum. Each pack of gum had 5 sticks of gum in it. After keeping 16 sticks of gum for himself, he decided to give each of his 4 friends an equal number of sticks of gum. How many sticks of gum did Mario's friends each get? So I'm going to come in and highlight important information. So Mario had 20 packs of juicy fruit. So I'm going to highlight that. And each pack of gum had 5 sticks. And then he kept 16 for himself. And then he decided to give each of his 4 friends an equal number of sticks of gum. So now, I do not know my total. And what do I mean by that? I do not know how many pieces or sticks of chewing gum Mario has. So the first thing I need to do is look for my total, guys. So before I even look at this, I'm going to think it over for myself. So I know that he has 20 packs. And I know that each pack has 5 gums. So if I'm looking for my total, I'm either going to add or subtract. And to me, it's more reasonable to multiply. Oh, no, sorry. I'm going to either add or multiply, guys. Add or multiply. Add or multiply when you're looking for your total. So to me, it's more reasonable to multiply because each pack has 5 sticks of gum. But 20 times 5 gives me 100. But he did not have 100 sticks of gum to share because he kept 16 for himself. So to this 100 pieces or sticks of gum, we're going to subtract 16. And once I solve this, I'm going to share equal numbers of sticks of gum with 4 of my friends. So that tells me, guys, since I am creating equal groups, I need to divide by 4. But I cannot leave this like this. I have to add parentheses or brackets in this portion or this part because I need to find this number first in order to know what number I am dividing by 4. So I didn't even look at my answer choices, but I already have one that matches my answer, which is C. So I'm going to come over here and choose C. So now I need to solve it. So I'm going to take my expression and we're going to solve. So following the order of operations, Big Purple Monster drinking a soda, I know that I need to do my parentheses first. And inside my parentheses, I am going to multiply first because Big Purple Monster. So multiplication comes next so that it gives me 100, 20 times 5. Now my last step is to subtract. So 100 minus 16 gives me 84. And now I'm left with 84 divided by 4. So if I was to divide 84 by 4, guys, I would be left with 21. So now I'm going to go back to the question. How many sticks of gum did Margot's friends each get? Each friend got 21 sticks of gum. Whoops. gum.